Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, the Pakistan Cricket Board has once again confirmed that the Test series with England will be held on home soil. It was once again categorically stated that Rawalpindi and Multan would be considered as venues for the home series against England, and it was clarified once again that there are no issues. There will be no tests that are being played outside Pakistan. In fact, both the test matches are going to be held inside the country as well. Selectors, coaches will select the Pakistan captain, because right now the biggest question surrounding Pakistan cricket team is the captaincy. A couple of names have been shortlisted. We'll give you the updates, but these are all unconfirmed reports. No name has been finalized as of yet, and PCB has not yet confirmed whether they're changing the test captain Shan Masood or not. But obviously for the one-day captain, the opportunity is still available. We have to appoint a white ball captain for one-day international cricket, considering that the biggest assignment right now will be the Champions Trophy next year as well. Then we move on to the Asian Hockey Champions Trophy. Pakistan and South Korea's match has ended in a 2-all draw once again. Before that, Pakistan, of course, played their first match in a draw as well. They're next facing Japan. The semi-finals are scheduled to take place on the 16th. Third place playoff will be held as well, and the final will take place on the 17th. Now, categorically, we tell you as well that Japan have been beaten by India 5-0. So, that was a very interesting encounter. But Pakistan, both their games have ended in a 2-all draw. So, they're yet to taste victory. But a draw, to salvage a draw is something that we'll have to figure out how helpful will it be for us going further into the tournament as well. Then, of course, we move on and we discuss the World Youth Scrabble Championship. Pakistan's Afan Salman has become the champion. Once again, he's won the championship with a record 5th time. He defeated his opponents in 19 out of 23 games that were played in this championship, and of course 138 players from all around the world participated. So congratulations to Afan. This is a terrific feat. Pakistan champion once again, 5th consecutive time for Afan himself as well, and Scrabble just gives us great results every now and then. It's been a while now since we're getting some positive results on the international stage. Then the US Open tennis tournament, where it's been absolutely terrific. The first Italian to win the US Open championship, Jannik Sinner, was absolutely superb. On the women's side, Aryna Sabalenka won the crown as well. So it's been wonderful. Taylor Fritz would be disappointed on the men's side, failing to win on home soil, but Sinner was absolutely fantastic. So was Aryna Sabalenka as well. So congratulations to both of them. Then we discuss the shooting championship in UK. Pakistan team has won 3 gold medals, 4 silver and 4 bronze medals. 160 shooters from 18 countries were participating. 18 shooters were representing Pakistan in various categories. So congratulations to the Pakistan team, who have won terrifically in this shooting championship, this prestigious shooting championship in the United Kingdom. So we of course applaud that and give you the updates of that as well. And then I'll tell you something very special, where all you motorsports enthusiasts need to get ready as well, because we've got a fantastic bike rally that is taking place in the scenic hills of Gorakh. And this is of course being organized by the Sindh Tourism Development Corporation in partnership with Green Tourism as well. This is the Gorakh Bike Rally 2024 that starts from the 30th of this month all the way till the 1st of next month in the Gorakh Hills, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. Various categories, cultural events are part of this bike rally, which is known as the Gorakh Bike Rally 2024. So we'll give you an update on that as well. This is what we're discussing in detail on the show, and of course we start off with hockey as well. As I just told you, that this is terrific that we talk about the championship that is being held, but the fact is that we also need to be I think very much focused on the results as well. So we'll discuss that in detail as well. We're very honored to be joined by former Olympian and member of the Pakistan hockey team as well, Mr. Imran Butt. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Well, Sam, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very well, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. How would you rate the performance so far? Both the games have ended in a draw. How would you categorically analyze these 2 games for Pakistan so far?
I think so. Pakistan is better than the other teams played in the both games. The Pakistan have a good chance to win these games, but unfortunately, some errors. The Pakistan finished this game with the draws. This is not good for the Pakistan for the Asian Champions Trophy, because we have ability to win those games. I don't know what happened with the lacking with the defense and the patience. I think so. Some errors in defense for the continuity, and Pakistan need to be improved their defense structure and also the scoring power in the front line with the short corner.
Certainly, Imran Sahib, kindly highlight to us as well. It's a very personal question that I asked this as well. That for quite some time now we have normalized considering a draw as a great feat in a tournament or in a championship, while we fail to understand that those crucial points we can get from victory are what matter for our qualification scenario or for going deeper into the tournament. But it's become very normal that we are satisfied with a draw and we start praising that we've been able to salvage a draw in a championship.
I think so. In the Asian teams, Pakistan must win these teams against Malaysia and against Korea because they are also in the rebuild procedure. I think so. This is some behavior issues in the ground. If you saw the game against Malaysia, Pakistan gets a lot of cards in the crucial time, so that's why the game draw. At the end of the game is draw. And just like the same in the Korea, Pakistan is just like be a good patient in the game. It's some discipline in the game. So if you need to survive in the hockey and if you want to survive in the game, and you have to win these teams because if you beat these teams, then be helpful for the upcoming events.
Certainly, next up they're going to face Japan. Japan have just lost to India 5-0, but Japan is a quality side as well. What should be Pakistan's tactics going into that game?
Pakistan need to improve their short corner skills because Pakistan have the key point in the short corner. That kind of teams, if you want to win that kind of teams, then you must be score on the short corner. If you are not going to score in the short corner, that be difficult to beat these teams.
Well, certainly. And if we look at Pakistan's tactical approach, considering how much prepared we were for this tournament before the tournament, obviously a camp at the end is something that we're used to. But would you say that we had sufficient preparation going into this tournament?
I think so. The new coach joined Tahir Bhai, and I think so. They recently joined and directly joined to the team for the tournament. If he was joined the team in the camp, that'd be a better result. Otherwise, Tahir Bhai is reading the team, and I think so. They cover up the mistakes from the teams in day by day in coming matches because Pakistan need to improve our level because Pakistan have a very good game against India. Last time India beat Pakistan by the 10-0. Now if Pakistan need to improve their level and compete against India just like a equalized game.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Imran Bhatt, for joining us on Sports Extra and highlighting Pakistan's performance so far in this Asian Champions Trophy Hockey Tournament 2024. Now, of course, if you look at some of the results as well of the tournament, Korea and Japan's match ended in a 5-all draw initially. Pakistan and Malaysia ended in a 2-all draw. Then India beat China 3-0, but Pakistan and Korea just ended in a 2-all draw, as we just told you. India beat Japan 5-1 in their game, so India were spectacular, and of course China beat Malaysia 4-2. And if you talk about upcoming games, Pakistan on Wednesday is to face Japan. India locks horns with Malaysia. China and Korea face each other on Wednesday as well. And of course, going into Thursday, Pakistan take on China in their next encounter. And then on Saturday, which is of course a very important day, on the 12th, Pakistan is of course going to be facing India in this tournament as well. So obviously it becomes very, very important that we talk about that the next remaining games for Pakistan are now must-win games. So you're taking on, of course, China, Japan and India. So out of those three games, they become must-win games to grab those crucial points in order to move forward as well. That being said, we now move on to cricket, where there are a lot of news regarding cricket that have been circulating. Pakistan has confirmed their series against England at home. Rawalpindi and Multan have been identified as potential venues, but at the same time, the question of captaincy still looms over PCB as well. To discuss this further in studios, we've been joined by first-class cricketer and our cricket expert on various platforms, Kashif Majid. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Walaikum Ahmed, perfectly all right.
Right, Kashif, first let's talk about this England series, which becomes a very important task. PCB has confirmed both the venues and the series is at home. But a lot of people are very skeptical that since that was your next assignment, then why not have a 4-day tournament before that instead of going through a 1-day championship?
I guess they're right to some extent. When we talk about the window available, it's just not possible to have a 4-day tournament in 20 days time or 25-day time, because when we talk about 4-day tournament, it normally takes 2 to 3 months at least 2.5 months to 3.5 months in between. So the best possible option was to engage those players through a quality cricket, a quality one-day cricket. And right now, when we talk about Test cricket, going through this Sri Lanka versus England Test, the way Pathum Nissanka is playing, I think it's far more better to play one-day cricket rather than playing Test cricket, because the cricket has the momentum, everything has shifted in Test cricket too, and everybody is talking about scoring run a ball in Test cricket, scoring at the rate of 5 runs per over in a session, or in a complete day, or even in a Test match. So this is where it's important to play quality cricket. Yes, ideal situation would have been that we should have played a 4-day tournament, but as I said, the time was just not there, because we have to face Bangladesh, and then we have got left with at least, I guess, 20-25 days, and it's just not possible to have a good quality tournament of 4-day cricket in between. Yes, we can come up with the solution of making 2 or 3 teams and having those intra squad matches, but the challenging situations are not there in the intra squad matches. So most probably this Champions Cup can be a good solution to all those guys who think that playing cricket is rather very important than staying idle.
Well, certainly, scenario-based warm-up matches, as we've been, knowing that terminology in between squads. But I think if you, when there was a tour to Australia or England, we used to, or South Africa, we used to dread that tour, that it's going to be very difficult. For the past 2-3 years now, I think playing at home has become a nightmare for us. We lost to Australia, lost to England, lost to Bangladesh just recently. Last time England were here, they absolutely, hammered us throughout the park. Now it's very important that we once again sit down and talk about what kind of conditions Pakistan is going to play against England in Pakistan. Pindi Cricket Stadium, what we've announced that we were unable to, we read the pitch, but it behaved differently. I don't know what the rhetoric in Multan will be.
Ahmed, just going towards this series, let's go back 10 years in Pakistan cricket. Let's start with 2000. We were considered as one of the finest team to play spin, because we have got the quality players who can manage spin well, likes of Yunus Khan. Misbah started out, Shoaib Malik was exceptional against spin in all formats, and even Saeed Anwar in his days of twilight days, and so on. Even started when we were playing our home cricket in UAE, we were exceptional against the spin. Talking about Azhar Ali at 3, 4 Yunus Khan, 5 Misbah, 6 Ashraf Shafiq, and then Sarfraz, they were exceptional. But for the last 10 years, starting after Misbah, Misbah and Yunus bow down in the same test, we couldn't find that identity, and this is the identity crisis we are facing in any form of cricket, but specifically in the Test cricket. We are not sure about identity. Gone were the days when we used to have those barren tracks, because we know with those reverse swinging Yorkers and at searing pace we can destroy any opposition. We can talk about Zahid, we can talk about Wasim Waqar, Shahid Nazir, Shoaib Akhtar. There was a battery of fast bowlers. Even so by so that Amir Nazir, Fazl Akbar, Kabir Khan, Sajid Shah couldn't get enough chance to play for the Pakistan, and they were very strong contender. Even if they've been playing in these days, they were considered as the world's best for Pakistan, and they couldn't get a chance because this was our batting, this was our bowling resources, and primarily the fast bowling resources. Then there comes a time when we start talking about quality spin. We've never been a quality spin producing country ever. We cannot have, we are not sure how this term came into being, that we are a very good side who produce spinners. We haven't got a single spinner who have taken 400 test wickets or 350 test wickets for that matter, and we always rely on sheer pace and batters doing the batting, and that is it. Spinners was always those supporting role. Yes, in the Misbah era, because we were playing cricket in UAE, they were spinners was considered as the main strike force because of the presence of Abdur Rahman, Zulfikar Babar, Saeed Ajmal, and then the Yasir Shah. This is the patch of 5-6 years they were spinners were doing the bulk of the damage, but simultaneously there was Junaid Khan taking 5-4, there was Bas taking 5-4, even Umar Gul was playing on the twilight of his career, he's taking wickets. Wahab, I guess, took 1-5-4 and so on. So the fast bowlers were there, but right now when we go through our bowling lineup, let me take the name. We talk about Khurram Shahzad, maximum 135. We talk about Mir Hamza, 127. Muhammad Ali, 135. With 135 clicks, the pace, the total pace or the average pace, we aren't sure ourselves what kind of a track we needed to get 20 wickets of the opposition. Because if we talk about the greenish wickets or the ball jagging around or moving around, we have to face the likes of Chris Wokes or Jofra Archer or Ollie Stone, Ben Stokes and all those guys, and we are afraid because they are pretty much used to of using those tracks. But when we talk about spinners, not a single spinner we have got who can take a 10-4 in a test match. So the dilemma right now stays with our bowling lineup. For batting, it's out of form sort of a scene. We cannot say that our batting is our weakest link, but right now taking 20 wickets to win a test match, that is a dilemma.
Well, certainly, but categorically, Kashif, if I look at some of the spinners around the world when we talk about Test cricket, primarily we can start with the likes of Saqlain Mushtaq Ahmed for Pakistan. Then we move on to Shane Warne, Muthiah Muralidharan, Graham Swan. We can even move on to Ravichandra Ashwin being the prime spinner for India. Then we can shift our focus, go around the world. Even Nathan Lyon for Australia at the moment. Daniel Vettori for New Zealand. We can talk about many spinners. It has been a certain time since they've become those world-renowned spinners. I mean, all of them, even Muthiah Muralidharan, Shane Warne, didn't become the legends after 10 or 20 test matches. Took them about 30, 40, 50 test matches to see, the world, then figure out what they are, what kind of threat they possess. Why is it that our indicator, and I just don't mean it from the fans' perspective, people who are involved at the helm of affairs in cricket even, that we are expecting overnight some sort of results and some magic to happen of a spinner taking 11 wickets in a test match.
So
Anil Kumble, sorry, I just forgot Anil Kumble.
To wrap up your, this intro or your question, there are only, I guess, 2 players in the history who have started their career with the average above 50 in Test arena and ended their career staying throughout above 50. I guess Richards and Javed Miandar. This is the case with the bowlers too. How many of them have started with the bowling average of 20 or less than 20? It stayed throughout this way. It's just the case of building a spinner or creating a spinner out of ordinary. We can say that Nathan Lyon has started pretty ordinary, but when he was bowling ordinary or when he was bowling or he was playing as a makeshift spinner, I cannot say makeshift, but as a 4th bowler in the lineup, the 3 top bowlers are taking wickets, the likes of Josh Hazlewood, Pat Cummins, Mitchell Starc, and he was doing a holding up job at the one end, that he couldn't let the batsman score freely, so that the other end is attacking all the times and taking wickets.
And give them necessary rest.
And give them necessary. Yes. When we talk about ourselves, our fast bowlers, when they required rest, we actually couldn't find a spinner who can do a dual job of taking occasional wickets and controlling the scoring rate. For the last so many years, there is a circulation going around and out in circles that we couldn't produce a match winning spinners, and I couldn't find one in our history. Yes, we do talk about Saqlain and Mushtaq and how many man of the match they have got in their entire career. Considering the fact that we compare those man of the match with the fast bowlers they are playing with. For Saqlain's Mushtaq, Saqlain was playing with Shoaib Akhtar, Wasim, Waqar. So let's compare the man of the match Saqlain has got and the man of the match Shoaib Akhtar, Wasim and Waqar has got. So again, Yasir Shah in comparison with Abbas and all those guys, I again said this is the only 5-6 years time where Misbah was at the helm of the affairs and he knows how to use spinners. As I said previously, as a captain, as a bowler, you are quite dependent to the captain you are playing with. Because going through again history, we couldn't find much stronger captain to play with spin again.
I think it's more of a historic statement that you only know the value of someone once they're gone. So I mean, during they were here, we never figured out how important they were, but now we understand that crisis. And that crisis being said, Kashif, I think the most important question right now in the entire nation is the captaincy. Now, I know Mohammad Rizwan's name is there primarily to take over across formats. But then again, in one day, the only two options you see is Babar Azam and Mohammad Rizwan. A lot of people might say Babar's not even taken captaincy in the 50 over championship that is happening as well, the one day championship. But then again, if it is Rizwan, whoever it is, for test or one day, that decision needs to be taken well before time.
For Rizwan's sake, I would say he can be a very good captain for two basic reasons. He still has got a very strong with every individual playing in this lineup. He can hug Shaheen Shah Afridi very warmly, and he can throw his bat after scoring 171 not out as a friendship gesture towards Babar Azam. So those two pillars are well, accompanied or well acclimatized with Mohammad Rizwan. Rizwan as a third pillar can use both of those pillars of Pakistani cricket team very well because he's a very good friend with both of them, Babar and Shaheen Shah Afridi. Rizwan is a very shrewd captain. And I know this for a fact because whenever we talk about Rizwan, he was always there captaining any of the side. Maybe it's Peshawar or in KPK when we talk about the northern region and the 6 teams playing in the Pakistan Quaid-e-Azam Trophy in the Pakistan. So he was captaining all those sides. He was captain of Multan Sultan, and Multan Sultan, when we talk about, he can create left arm spinner out of Khushdil Shah. So he knows how to use, because look, for a captain,
street smart.
And why he's a street smart? Because he's not a naturally gifted player. It's a very strong statement from my end, because since he's not a naturally gifted player, he has to use certain shortcuts, or he has to use certain cricketing tactics to be able to perform at the highest level, and that is international level.
Absolutely.
So he's mentally he's very well equipped to rotate his bowlers to be at the top. And yes, the smile he has got, nobody talks about it, but playing against India in a high profile match, I still remember winning by 10 wickets. He was the only guy when we were bowling, he was the only guy who was laughing and he was smiling and he was creating all sorts of drama.
And the iconic 6 over square leg to Jasprit Bumrah, I think that really set the tone as well. But that being said, we move on to a big news from international cricket. When the word utility cricketer comes, I think only one cricketer comes to mind, and that is Moeen Ali. Moeen Ali has called curtains on his international career. Let's take a look at this report.
England's batting all-rounder Moeen Ali has announced retirement from international cricket. The 37-year-old, who was not selected in the national squad for series against Australia, announced his retirement from all formats of the game. Moeen made his international debut in 2014 against West Indies. He had already stepped down from the longest format of the game in September 2021. He finished with 204 test scalps, making him the third best England spinner in the format. Moeen Ali was part of England's squad during their successful ODI World Cup in 2019 and T20 World Cup in 2022. Ali, who holds the England record for the fastest half-century in T20 internationals, having reached 50 in 16 balls against South Africa in 2022. Moeen Ali represented England in 68 tests, 138 one-day internationals and 92 T20 internationals as an all-rounder. He scored 6,678 runs, 8 centuries, 28 50s, and 366 wickets for England across all formats. His last international outing was England's semi-final loss to India at the T20 World Cup. His retirement marks the end of a notable career as one of England's top all-rounders.
Oh, it's in the slot and it is out of the park. What a strike, you could tell from
And there you have it. I mean, at one part of the world, we give an example of not playing players according to their own numbers where they were playing domestic. And then you have a character like Moeen Ali who could adjust at the opening spot, the middle order, lower middle order. And what a time for him to, serve English cricket when they needed a player like him the most. Kashif, what would you like to highlight about his stellar career?
I guess a quality utility cricketer. He can open the innings in one day, he can open the innings in test, he can open the innings in T20, and he can be used as a power player or a finisher in any of the formats. And with his off spin, he was always there with his resignations and coming back. So most probably he has got that trait from our part of the world, that he can resign anytime and he can be available to play test cricket. He can resign anytime and then he can be available. And last time he came back because he wanted to play, enjoy baseball cricket. So he wanted to spend some time with Brendan McCullum's era, and he enjoyed that too. But I guess it's a good call from his side. And when we talk about his off-spin, so we as a cricketing world lost yet another quality off-spinner, a conventional off-spinner with the names of Moeen Ali.
Absolutely, but I think unlike our side, he didn't even wait for a farewell match. So that is good communication. But Kashif, thank you very much for joining us for our segment of cricket. Congratulations to Moeen Ali on a stellar career. I think he's been a terrific ambassador for the game that we all love as well, and especially for the Muslim community living in England as well. I think it's just been terrific of a career, and once again congratulations to him, his family, his county, his coaches, everybody, and I think to English cricket as well. On that note, we move on to the US Open. It's been absolutely stunning the way the change of guard has happened, and I think I would really like to mention certain things that have been surrounding this US Open as well in detail as well, and of course we're going to be mentioning them. Joining us in studios for our segment on tennis is our sports expert, the all-rounder that we have, Mr. Ali Mehdi. Assalamu alaikum, Ali. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm very well.
Thank you very much for joining us. First of all, let me just congratulate you on the right picks. Firstly, let's talk about Jannik Sinner. Absolutely superb. Taylor Fritz would be gutted for an opportunity to win on home soil.
I mean, absolutely gutted. You know, the first time that in 18 years you have a US American in the final in the men's section too, and 21 years since the last American won, who was in Andy Roddick, and he had high hopes. He beat Tiafoe in 5 sets, and he went into this match with full of confidence, thinking that he could do it. And in his due respect, also obviously, the tons of celebrities came in. The most powerful person in the world, Taylor Swift, was also over there. Who actually was there to actually also cheer him on, to her fellow name. But the thing is that Jannik Sinner on the day was absolutely brilliant. There's a reason that he is world #1. He's the absolute complete player right now, and right now you're talking about change of guard right now. This is the first year since the big three, the first year since 2002, in 22 years that the big three are not actually going to win any Grand Slam in a calendar year. And Jannik Sinner saw that why he wanted to take the baton along with Carlos Alcaraz, who has 4 Grand Slams, because he was absolutely perfect on the day. Throughout the tournament, his defense has been brilliant, his ground play has been very good, his serve has been very solid, and his mental aptitude has been brilliant. He's mentally so strong over there, and whenever he faces break points, even if he's broken, he hits back very hard. Yesterday, after winning the first 2 sets comprehensively, third set, Taylor Fritz actually was actually serving for the set, but Jannik Sinner showed that why he's the world #1. What he did is that he broke him back and then eventually winning 7-5. And it really Taylor's Fritz, who thought that he was going to probably take it to a 4th set. He was in absolute tears, but Jannik Sinner rightfully showed that why he's the best player in the world, and the future is very bright with him.
Well, we move on to the women's side as well. It's been a dream run for Aryna Sabalenka, but the first Italian on the men's side to win a US Open. Just a bit of history about Italian and Americans, that is a bit on a lighter side as well. But for Sabalenka, I think those raw emotions that we saw after she realized she's won the title speak volume of what this meant to her as far as that trophy cabinet is concerned.
It meant everything to her. She was very unlucky last year. She was absolutely decimated by Coco Gauff last year. And after that, it took her a while, but then she's had a fabulous year this year, winning 2 of the 4 Grand Slams, winning at the Australian Open, and then following it up by beating Jessica Pegula. She showed that why she is, when it comes to hard court surface, she is the best player over there. She has raw power, and the most important thing is she has the fastest serve in both the men's and women's game right now. So that is also a reason that why she's absolutely unbeatable right now. Just like the men's final too, Jessica Pegula had her moments too, but she really hit back, and there is a reason. She used her power. She was absolutely brilliant at the net, winning 18 winners at the net too, and she showed that she has that all-round game, due to which she has actually won 2 Grand Slams this year.
Well, certainly, and now that being said, Ali Mehdi, the bigger question has always surrounded around these next-gen tennis players, or obviously, certain players who are now making up the ranks as well. The question always remains about consistency and rivalries. Now, in the past, there's been a lot of fuel to the game because of Roger Federer, Rafa Nadal, to a point, obviously Djokovic came in the scene as well. I think that has been great for the longevity of the game. But how do we see tennis going forward? And on the women's side, Serena Williams as well. But how do we see it now going forward? Because most of these players, when I talk about them, they lack that consistency that is yet to be seen across winning tournaments or Grand Slams.
If you talk about the men's side, you know, the big three era is over. I mean, obviously you have Djokovic and Nadal's retiring at the end of the year. Djokovic won Paris. He wanted to win the Olympics, so he's won. So he's there and thereabouts. But now the era has now been moved on to the youngsters too. Carlos Alcaraz, he already has 4 Grand Slams. He won 2 Grand Slams, let's not forget. And then obviously Sinner too. These are the 2 players who I think who are going to lead the charge for the youngsters going forward. But other than that, I don't really see many youngsters actually pushing them through. We could, I mean, you know, Medvedev won a Grand Slam, you know, a couple of years. Thiem is gone now too. So I think, you know, the future is bright with these 2, but you could see some surprises along the way. If you look at the women's side too, it's much more open over there. Swiatek has been brilliant at the French Open. She's done okay at this hard courts too. But Sabalenka, along with other, you know, some girls coming up. You talk about Mukova, who was brilliant, you know, made the semi-finals to Navarro, another
We've seen Naomi Osaka up the ranks in previous tournaments.
Osaka, I think, is
Ons Jabeur, I think, can be superb as
I think Ons Jabeur has passed her prime now. It's Osaka's going to hit back because Osaka had a child. She's already won 4 Grand Slams. You know, she needs that consistency too. But I think going forward, it's Sabalenka and Swiatek who won. Like the men's side, they won 2. Sabalenka won 2 and Swiatek won 1. And Wimbledon is going to be the one which, you know, anybody can actually win.
What's your expert analysis when you look at Stefanos Tsitsipas or Alexander Zverev?
Actually, I think that, you know, they had the opportunities. Tsitsipas actually made a French Open final. He's won and made an Australian Open final. He's on the way down. His actually ranking has fallen to about 15th or 16th. And Zverev had his opportunities. Ran Roland Garros final this year, beaten in 5 sets. He should have beaten Alcaraz. He lost his opportunity in 2020. In COVID, he actually made the US Open final, lost in 5 sets. So I think they'll be there and thereabouts, but they really have to step up a gear if they really want to chase up the big guns of Carlos Alcaraz and also Jannik Sinner.
Well, it's become a bit of a cliche question now, but it all comes back to Novak Djokovic. He's gotten that much awaited gold medal, the Olympic gold medal in his trophy cabinet. People often ask how much longer can he continue, but then of course there's a talk about him and the Australian Open having a romantic affair amongst each other as well. But the question still remains, how long can he continue for?
I think with the Novak Djokovic, you know, the thing is that he had only one thing on his mind, and that is now it's all about records. You know, with Australian, he's obviously, you know, he's going to be the favorite over there, but he did get beaten by the world number 1, Jannik Sinner, in 4 sets over there. So, I mean, it's going to be a challenge for him, but it's his hunger and desire. Whereas now I think he's up for records. He's really after that Wimbledon record, where he wants to go after Roger Federer, who has 8, he has 7 too. It's as many he can add, that hunger and desire, but I genuinely feel these youngsters over, especially in Sinner and Alcaraz, will give him a tough time. But with Djokovic, anything is possible.
Absolutely. Ali Mehdi, thank you very much for joining us. Once again, congratulations for the right predictions.
Thank you.
You've somewhat become an octopus for us, the way we used to see octopus making predictions in the world of football. 2010 is a famous World Cup. Just love every bit of it. But thank you very much, Ali Mehdi, for joining us. That being said, of course, that's all we have for. And thank you very much to all of you who are tuning in as well. But before I go, I've got to share something very special with you for all you motorsports enthusiasts across the country and around the globe as well, especially when it comes to bike rallies. It's absolutely fantastic. The Gorakh Bike Rally 2024 is all set to start from the 30th of this month all the way till the 1st of next month in the scenic beauties of Gorakh Hill in Sindh. This is, of course, a rally organized by the Sindh Tourism Development Corporation with the support of Green Tourism as well. And it's going to be absolutely spectacular. Various categories, a number of riders participating, cultural events part of this as well. So that's all we have time for. Goodbye from me and the team, but we leave you with this report on the Gorakh Bike Rally.
In a thrilling development for adventure enthusiasts, the highly anticipated Gorakh Bike Rally is set to take place from 29th of September to the 1st of October this year. Organized by the Sindh Tourism Development Corporation in collaboration with Green Tourism, this rally promises to be the major attraction for bikers and tourists alike. The event will span 3 days, offering participants an exhilarating biking experience through the scenic and rugged terrain of the Gorakh Hill Station, also known as the Murray of Sindh. The event aims to promote eco-tourism, encouraging visitors to experience the scenic natural wonders of Gorakh Hills. The rally features a variety of events including a challenging off-road biking competition, camping under the stars, and cultural performances highlighting the rich heritage of Sikh.